All right. Hey. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your main man, Coach Eric Schwafel, coming at you with the very first episode of the Unlocking Excellence podcast. Like I said, y'all, my name is Eric Schwafel. I'm here with this first episode. And, to be honest, I am super excited about this. I have been wanting to create a podcast for a long time now. And something was in the works a couple of months ago, maybe even a couple years ago now. However, it didn't go through, and now we have this here. And to tell you the truth, freaking it almost didn't happen. This podcast almost didn't happen from overthinking, just thinking about too much, wondering what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, when it's going to get done, all this kind of stuff. And really overthinking for me is the first way or the only way to stay exactly where you are, to stay inactive and to not switch anything up or do anything different, right? It just kind of keeps you stuck where you're at. So we finally are getting this thing going. We're getting it on the way. I'm excited for what we're going to bring you. It's going to be a whole bunch of different stuff. That gives you a lot of information, right? It's going to be a whole bunch of different stuff in personal development, and it's going to cover different areas in health too. So I want to explore a little bit into that, what we're going to be delivering, what it's going to be looking like, and stuff along those lines. So I hope you're excited. I'm glad you're here, that you're listening. And we're going to dive into a little bit about what unlocking excellence means later on and what excellence actually is. But to give you an idea, right now, there is a big boom in the fitness and in the personal development realm where there's a whole bunch of different coaching going on, where there's a whole bunch of these different mindsets, and people are realizing the way that we've been doing things for a long time isn't necessarily sustainable in the long term, right? It seems like we always go, we, society, individuals, people, we always go from one thing over to the other. However, it never lasts in the long term. It never sticks, right? So it can be extremely difficult to actually get the results that you want and feel fulfilled and satisfied on a daily basis. There's always just, it seems, at least with me too, like there's this feeling of longing, of lack of fulfillment, and this feeling of wanting something more, right? It's never good enough, the things that we have. It's always, we need a little tweak here, there's an improvement. And for one, that's part of human nature, right? That's definitely part of human nature. But for two, one of the big things is to, appreciate what you have when you have it, because it's temporary. So if you're dissatisfied, you can realize what we're going through and all that good stuff. It's temporary. And the other thing is when you realize, hey, the good things that I have in my life right now are temporary. So you appreciate them even more. And a couple of the things that I want to do are introduce different mindset shifts, different mindset hacks, talk about different ways to look at things and to turn these internal, what I like to call distinctions, these internal beliefs, these internal ways of perception and seeing things, and to change those a little bit to see if we can give you something that works a little bit better for you. I know the way that I operated and the way that I thought when I was 20 years old is for sure not the same way that I think or operate when I'm now 30 years old, right? When I was a child, I acted like a child, but now that I'm a man, I do my best to act like a man. So with that, we're going to be covering things in the physical fitness realm. So we'll be talking about exercise. We'll be talking about things that are good for the body. Physical, I also talk about nutrition, right? So we'll be talking about nutritional tips. We'll be talking about the best scientifically proven way to get results, not this bro science bullshit, but actually things that you can do to improve your life physically and nutritionally, making those things work. We're going to hit on the emotional, mental side of things, because look, there are three real main types of stress that we go through in life. It's physical stress, it's emotional, mental, and then it's chemical stress. So the stuff that we consume and that we put in our body. And if you take care of two of those things, then the third one is bound to just fall into place. It's just bound to work and realign itself. So we're going to talk about the things that you can do physically to get yourself back on track, the things that you can do mentally and emotionally, and then what matters and what you're putting into your body. So the things that you can do chemically, right? What foods that you put in your body, the stuff that's in your shampoo, the stuff that's in freaking just the water that you drink, knowing that the water is safe in your own city. So the mental, emotional side, we're going to talk about the social health, Who you surround yourself with determines who you are. I think it was Jim Rohn who ended up saying, you become the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if that is not the truth, then I don't know what is. And it can matter at the gym. It can matter at work. It can matter at your house. You'll start seeing yourself say certain phrases and words that another person with influence, greater influence, has on you. So your social environment is so crucial to the development of your character. It's not even funny. Right? So that's social. We also have your environmental health. So believe it or not, one of the fastest ways to change who you are, right? Your identity, the results that you get is by changing your environment. What? How is that possible? Well, think about it. If you are in a certain environment with a certain type of person or people, they are going to behave in a certain kind of way. They're going to think a certain kind of way, and you're eventually going to adapt to that. So if you are looking to lose weight, but you spend all your time on the couch, well, what's one of the fastest ways to get you to start losing weight is to get your ass off the couch. Is to get your butt into the gym and start working out, or maybe not even to the gym, but right outside, and you start moving, you start walking. What's one of the best ways to, lose weight if you are somebody who goes to the bar a lot and eats bar food and drinks? You stop doing that, or you reduce the amount of time that you do it too. So there's going to be physical, there's mental, emotional, there's going to be social, there's environmental, there's I think that's all the scopes of health, I'm pretty sure, right? Physical, mental, emotional, social, environmental, and spiritual. I can't believe I almost forgot it. And of course, spiritual health. And we'll be talking about that as well. And it's not only about your relationship to the creator, right? But it's also your relationship with yourself. Because if you can't live with yourself and what you do on a daily basis, and you can't live with your own responsibilities, life is going to be tough. Life is going to be very, very tough because you're at the whim of everybody else, right? We're going to talk about ownership. We're going to talk about responsibility. We're going to talk about how important that is in your daily life. If you don't take ownership over the things that you can control, somebody else will. Somebody else will make those decisions for you, and somebody else is going to be controlling your life. And let me tell you, if you don't create or plan your life and where you want to go, you're probably not going to like where you're ending up because you're not making the decisions. It's all about the choices and the decisions that we make. Sometimes people don't realize that. Sometimes people think that, oh, I'm going to have life change for me and everything's going to work out for the best. And don't get me wrong, that happens every so often. But from what I've seen, it's become more of the exception to the rule rather than the norm, right? So until that becomes the norm, you've got to start stepping up in life. You've got to start stepping up. What has been the issue that I've seen with many people in their issue or their lack of unlocking excellence? Intentionality, lack of purpose, consistency, accountability, and desire, which goes into the intentionality of it, right? If you're not consistent, it's like anything. If you don't water a plant, it's not going to grow. It's not going to thrive. It's not going to feel great. It's not going to happen. If you're not accountable, for most people, whether you're accountable to yourself or another person, if you're not accountable, then what does it even matter that you do what you need to do? You go through the process with your goals. It doesn't. So you need somebody to be accountable to, somebody that you respect, somebody that's in a place of authority. We went over consistency, right? Intentionality, desire, purpose. Everything here has a purpose. There's a beginning and an end to everything in this life, in this physical world, right? You have a purpose. You're here for something. And when you don't walk in your purpose, you lose, your spirit loses its spark, right? You end up just being a bump on a log. You end up being a couch potato. You don't feel your greatest. You're not living to your best potential. You're not contributing. You're not impacting others. You're not doing what you were set here to do. And I've seen way too many times people lose their purpose. And here's the thing, a question that everybody asks is, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Like they're being asked, or they're asking to being shown. You get to define your purpose. That's the cool thing. You get to define it. Wherever you are, you get to define it. Now, there's probably some overall grand purpose that you have specifically, but while you're here, you can define what you want to do. You have those choices. And that's what unlocking excellence is all about, is seeing that you have that power, that that power to take responsibility and ownership over the things that you can control in life. There's some things that you can't control. Don't worry about that shit. Worry about what you can control, when you can control, how you can control, and how you can impact the situation, right? It's as easy as that. Simple. Let me say it's as simple as that. Maybe not as easy. It's about what you commit to, not what you're interested in. It's about what you will do, not what you can't do. It's about what you choose. It's about being radically honest with yourself. It's about stopping. Does that make sense? To stop going through the vicious circle, to stop zigzagging, to make a straight line to where you want to go, to be results oriented and process driven, purpose process driven. And once you start doing that, once you make those shifts, it might take a little bit of time. Once you start making those shifts, life gets so much better because there's clarity, there's purpose, there's actually some place to go. And what I've noticed is we don't live to become excellent anymore. We don't even try to become perfect because we know perfect isn't one of the things that is possible, right? We all make mistakes. But we live in this mediocrity where quality is no longer a what's the right word for it? It's quality is no longer expected. It's quantity, right? Just to give the minimum every single time, but not even the minimum for the best, just the minimum that's accepted. And that brings the quality of everything down, right? We're here to keep our standards high. We're here to make certain agreements with ourselves, right? Not expectations, but actual agreements. This is what I agree to do. This is how I agree to do it when it's supposed to get done. Discipline. And those are some of the things that we're going to talk about here. So I'm super excited about it. I've been wanting to do this for a super long time. And now, it's the time. So we got everything set up. We got a couple of episodes ready. So when you're ready to check those out, please check those out. If you enjoy it, definitely hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. In the future, we're going to have guests on here too with their definition of what excellence is and how they have unlocked it in their lives. And let me know, what do you want to hear? What do you want to know more about? And we can definitely communicate. You can check out my Instagram. You can check out my Facebook. And I think that's it. That's a good way to end the first episode. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed what you heard. Go ahead and check out episode number 2. And before I leave you out, one thing that I want you to know that's crazy important to me is that you know that you, my friend, are unstoppable. You can do anything that you set your mind to. As long as you set your mind to it, you choose it, and you commit to it. You see, people aren't always frustrated with the things that they can't do. They're frustrated with the things that they can do, but they choose not to. They're frustrated when they choose comfort over commitment. And here we're going to choose what we're committed to over what we're comfortable with, because you don't grow in your comfort zone. You grow outside of it. So the winner of the game at the end will be the person who is most comfortable being uncomfortable. And it takes an unstoppable mindset. It takes an unstoppable approach at life a relentless approach at life in order to get there. So we're gonna show you how to do that in all different areas. Hope you have a great day. I love you, and we'll talk soon. See you on the next one. Peace.